Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Looks like we're ready to get started. We've got Chris from Google on the line here, and he's setting up for some great demos and stuff. We're going to get started with the show here in just a second.
Hey, thanks, James. Just wanted to double check you can hear me. We're logging in from Google on our side.
Sounding great, Chris.
Okay,
Thanks
great. Good to hear. How are we doing on the live stream? I don't have a window open yet, so I mean, if we have some folks online, then good. We can get started.
Definitely good to go.
Okay, awesome. So you guys can see my screen, right? I'm basically have the opening slide for May 11th. Let me just jump over to our agenda for today. So for today, it's going to be basically some demos, and then James is going to give us an update also from the AppMaker University, and then we'll just keep it open for Q&A towards the end there. All right. So first off, just to kind of give you a little bit of background, as you know, we have these template applications, or as you may know, we have these template applications, or essentially they're turnkey solution applications that come bundled inside of AppMaker directly. So, and these are in development. We have a team actually working on a whole variety of them. And so from time to time, we like to ask some of the engineers to come over and just give us a sneak preview of what they're working on. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Andre on our inside to give us a walkthrough of a new corporate store template. And feel free, if you're projecting, let me know how things go. And you can also let us know if you can see his screen once it switches over to his screen. Cool. Sure. So yeah, we just have to kind of go through a bit of a delay for the YouTube live stream to pick it up. But once it's good to go, then Andre will start projecting or at least talking through the demo on his side.
I've just already started sharing. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Go ahead. We can see your screen.
Awesome.
So hello everyone. Today I'm going to show a quick demo of corporate store application, corporate store template. So your feedback are welcome. Feel free to leave comments below the video on the YouTube channel or in the AppMaker.
Hey, you're gonna want to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
So it looks like you're muted. So we're just like double checking which mics are turned on. Yeah, we'll make sure that Andre's unmuted. How about now?
Are you on mute? You're gonna have to have one of your mics off, or else it'll echo.
Are you live again?
Yeah. So
Okay.
can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. I unmuted mine, so hopefully they can hear.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Yeah, just talk kind of loud. That way, all the mutes will, or the mics will pick it up. Sorry about that.
Okay. I'll try to be a bit closer to the laptop. Okay. So hello everyone. Today I'm going to show a corporate store template. So your feedback are welcome. So feel free to leave comments below the video on the YouTube channel or in the Maker group. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Corporate store. Corporate store is kind of an online shop, but within the organization. You can think about it like about a little Amazon inside your company, where you can order products that you need for work and don't pay for them because you need them for work. Let me show how it works. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. For example, I'm an employee of some company G, not Google, because in Google we have our own system that does kind of this stuff. I'm an employee of some company, and to work more productively, I need, for example, second monitor or keyboard, yet another keyboard. I go to the corporate store, open the products page, and you can see here all available products. So I want monitor, so I click to the monitor. Now you can see details, product details. And I can add it to cart. Or I can change quantity, number of products that I want to add, and add them to cart. Here I can remove it if I don't need it, or add it by mistake, or add some special instructions, or go to products page and add another product. Also, I can filter product by category, so I know that keyboard and a computer's category, or search by some keywords. Example, mechanical keyboard. Go to details page, and then add it to cart. Here you can write special instructions. For example, if I want, I don't know, yellow keyboard or something else, and then place an order. So I'm redirected to the order page. Here I can see the status of order, my order ID, and products that I've ordered. I can leave a comment. To guys who is responsible for handling this request. And also I can see all my orders and track their statuses. So I have around 10 orders. All of them are open. I can filter them by statuses. Since I don't have canceled order, I can see anything. So I just show you a simple user role workflow, but the basic application has 4 roles. User role, delivery team role, the guys who's responsible for handling this request and delivery products, content manager role. These guys are responsible for adding and editing products and categories, and then admin. Admin can do everything that other roles can do, and also can set up some settings for application. Let me show how delivery team work. When I place an order, I and the delivery team guys received an email notification that new order has been submitted. Also, delivery team guys have additional menu item and access to additional page called orders. On this page, they can see all orders and can filter them by date. For example, filter date. Also can search by some terms, by order, ID, by owner, handle, and so on, and filter by steps. So they're responsible for handling these requests and delivering orders, and when order is delivered, they should mark order as completed. That means that the order already in the customer hands. So they also can write comments. If something went wrong, they can reopen this order or even cancel it. Okay, so next role is a content manager role. Content managers can, as I said already, content managers can add products, edit products, update quantity. For example, for editing products, you just need to update these forms, or you can update amount of product, or you can add a new product. You can search product names, or you can select category. So also, these guys can change and add new categories. When I try to delete a category, it shows a message that this category is not associated with any products, so we can just delete it. So, and the last role is admin role. These guys can do everything that other roles can, and also they can set some settings. For example, they can update application name, or set support email, or set delivery team email, and change templates, notification templates. So that's probably it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So I actually had a question. Can you go into a little bit more of like the how you built it and maybe some of the models and scripts and stuff, just a bit?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So so I have a simple models that corresponds to products, categories, comments.
And the relation you set up is basically what now? Like,
For example, let's see, in order, I have relations with order item and with a comment. So you can attach comments to the order,
yep.
And you can attach order items to the order. Also, a relation between products and categories and order items, because I want to keep a copy of a product and link to the product in order item. So if product is not deleted, they have access. I know which product was added to the order.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that I want to show is a search. It's pretty nice implementation of search. So it's a codeless implementation. So I have almost zero code, lines of code. So for example, here I just bind values to the query parameters, and then filter some data source. So it doesn't require any code.
Cool. How long have you been working on this app? Like actual core development, aside from just discussion and planning? Yeah.
Around 3 weeks, probably, core development. Okay. Maybe even less.
Yeah, because I remember we discussed a couple of different options and stuff, but once you got it more or less finalized, your planning, the actual development.
Also, the application is pretty much responsive, so we'll spend some time on this. So, pages.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. All the templates apps are built such that they're responsive or mobile friendly to the best ability. I mean, sometimes the extreme cases, there might be a case where it's just too small of a browser. But yeah, that's definitely one of the areas.
Accessible.
Oh yes, exactly.
So we spend a lot of time on this stuff.
Yeah. So if you didn't catch that, he was tabbing through, and he was able to pop open the menu on the top left and just tab through those fields. Cool. Cool. Awesome. So do we have any questions on the particular app out there? I'm looking at the chat. Looks like we have. So I answered one question about publishing apps to the web. It's actually not supported, but like I said, this is a use case that we definitely would like to hear feedback if it's something that's very important. But yeah, as it is today, AppMaker is geared for internal applications on your specific domains, organizations, at least for now. But and there's various reasons for that. But as we launch, we want to kind of progressively take on more features. But for now, that's definitely the direction that we're going. Any questions on the actual template application that Andre walked through? And again, you could go to the YouTube live stream and just type in anything that you'd like. Okay, so I see one question.
Does it reduce the queries on all this content? Yes, it does.
So in case you didn't see the live stream,
Actually, not when order is completed, when order has been placed.
Oh, okay.
At this moment.
So just so if in case you didn't see it, the question was, does it reduce stock levels when orders are completed? And the answer was yes, but only when the orders are completed, right?
Not completed, but placed.
Fulfilled or placed. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Oh, so general question on publishing to the web. If you know our AppMaker users group or forum, which hopefully that's where you found out about the Hangout, you can always post that kind of feedback there. There's also a feedback feature within the project itself that you could do. That's a little bit more for bugs though, or a little specific feature stuff. I think the forum is probably the best way to just kind of communicate that information, like what desired features or directions that you'd like to see. So. Okay, no, good feedback from the Alshara group worldwide. Cool. Anything more on the application that Andre walked through? If not, we can move on to our next section. Unless Alex, did you have anything, or if you're good? Okay, James, anything on your side? Otherwise, I'll just jump right over to showing our next. Oh, wait a second. On our agenda, I forget if we had you up next or if it was. We want to just do demos first. Yep. At least according to my slide here for the agenda, we have an update from AppMaker University. So I can hand it over to James if you like.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to just go to the next slide there for the AppMaker University slide?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So let me just click present.
Great.
And, at least for this presentation that I have.
Oh, yeah, here, I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, just share your screen. That'd be easiest. And I'm going to switch over to my demo screen. So whenever you guys are ready, you can project for my laptop again.
Yeah, so I'll just switch over here to. So hey everybody, it's James Furr from AppMaker University. You've maybe watched our videos already or seen a few. Just wanted to give you guys kind of just a quick update here. We've been really busy this month. It's actually been just a crazy month. A lot of people getting interested in AppMaker, getting out there, trying it out, finding some different things, building some really great apps. We've been really happy to talk to so many of you lately. And we just wanted to talk just a little bit. Our boot camp is completely done now, and we've got a bunch of students enrolled in it. And we start all the time. We can do it for your business if you got a lot of people you want to train at one time, or if you're just an individual wanting to get into AppMaker. We could do that too. And the boot camp is 15 hours. It's spread out over 10 modules that basically take you step by step and get you really proficient in using AppMaker. And what we found, and I just talked to one of our newest clients just yesterday, and he'd been working for about a week on an app that that he was really struggling with, and he was a traditional web developer, so he'd written a whole bunch of code and things to try to do things that AppMaker just does for you, but he didn't know how to do that part. And so we got on, we did a little bit of coaching, and in about 5 minutes we built the same app using the AppMaker techniques that are really quite a bit different than web development techniques that you might be used to if you're a code writer. So that was a really great experience for him. He's like, wow, I really do see the power of AppMaker now. It does really just cut out all of that programming that I was really thinking I had to do. And so, so the boot camp, it's a year of our hammering away on things, doing everything wrong, and then having to do it over again and getting just the right combination of what works and what doesn't work and what really scales well for business applications. And so we take all that knowledge that we've gained in working with the clients, building some of the largest applications in the world, and put it all into this boot camp. And that way you can really get that knowledge in just a couple days worth of time, and so it's great value. It's definitely a good thing to get involved with. All right, Chris, I think we're ready for some more demos though.
Oh, okay. So yeah, sounds good. So feel free to let me know when you switch over to my screen. I think Brandon was able to switch it over. And then once you see my screen, I will go ahead and just kind of walk through the demo. Just to give a little bit of context. Great, looks like I can see it as well on the live stream. So just to give a little bit of context, we have these events going on currently around the world called Google Next for the cloud platform. And so cloud platform inclusive of G Suite and et cetera. And so we did our first Google Next event back in March in San Francisco. Kind of did like the first demonstration of AppMaker like in its current form to like a live audience. I actually walked through a demo back then. We had Geva from product management, and we actually had a good number of engineers actually meeting the staff, or the attendees at the event. So we have these events that are being replicated around the world, and just last week or 2 weeks ago, we were in London doing the same thing. So this is a demo that we put together, or I basically put it together after meeting with some of the different guys on the team. And so the idea here is that I'm going to actually build like a project tracking dashboard, and I'm going to do it in about 10 minutes or so, or even less if I don't talk too much. So anyway, just to kind of set the stage a bit, what I have here is I'll start off with a to-do list. And this is just basically like a set of tasks that I would set up that I could set for myself. Again, this is just kind of like an example, but the course of the demo, I'm gonna actually transform this spreadsheet into an actual full-blown like web application, which will be essentially a multi-person project tracking dashboard. So how to build the app. So I have AppMaker here, and what you're looking at is essentially it's based off of the starter app template. So if you saw here, I pulled up our create new app screen here, and I selected the starter app. And so in this case, I did do a bit of customization. I did add an additional page here that's going to contain a dialog that will allow me to insert new projects along the way. And that's basically it. Otherwise, we're good to go. Now, the template also included like the header and the menu and stuff like that, but I get that for free. And there's also a little bit of scripting for the menu, but I didn't really touch anything there. All right, so let's go ahead and build a new app. And so I'll go up to my data node up here. I'll click on the plus button, and I'm just going to select the default, which is Google Drive Tables. And in case you're new to AppMaker, Drive Tables is a technology that is based off of Google Drive, and it's embedded inside of AppMaker. So you get like a free, easy-to-use database for ready to run just with any AppMaker application. Now I could connect to an external database such as Cloud SQL, or I'll show you in a second how to connect to a directory API very easily. But in this case, I'll just take the default, and I'll name my data model. I'll call it projects. And I could go through and define each field manually, but in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and select that spreadsheet that I showed you just a second ago. So I pop open Google Drive window, and then I can see my little to-do list there. And it scans through and gives me a kind of like a visual, cue that yes, this is exactly my spreadsheet. And then it will take the columns of the spreadsheet and create fields for me on the fly. So these are the field names that it's going to create. And then it also deduces what are the data types based off of the data inside of the spreadsheet. So as you can see, it's going to be strings, numbers, dates, booleans, etc. So it drastically simplifies the creation of the data model. Now keep in mind, this is based off of the structure. I'm not importing the data. I'm not going to actually set up a connection to it. I'm actually creating my own copy of the structure, and then I'll customize. And so in this sense, because I want to make this into a multi-person project tracking app, I'm going to go ahead and add some more fields. So in this case, let's add a string, which is going to contain owner field. And so you'll see in a second how I can actually add like an email, which will serve as like the who's going to own that field. Let's go ahead and move that to the top as well. And then another field I'm going to add is a budget field. And the reason I'm doing this is just because I want to show kind of like how you can do some charting as well. And so it comes in handy to have some numeric numbers there. I'll do a little bit more customization. I will change the priority field. So this is the number field, so priority like 1 through whatever. I'm going to actually define like what it can be. So I don't want it to be anything other than whole numbers. And I'm going to make it specifically a set of values. In this case, I'm just going to edit the possible values in the simple list editor that's embedded inside of the data model editor. And that's basically it. I'm all good to go. I have like a fully functional data model. So my backend database is finished. I'll come back and I'll do one more tweak later on, but for now it's good to go. Now let's go back to the UI. So I click on the main page and I have this empty page here. I did stretch it out a little bit. So if you open up the starter app today, you'll notice it's slightly smaller, but just to kind of make it easier on myself, I created a slightly larger starting page. And I pop this open. And for my dashboard, typically a dashboard is like going to be a grid and maybe some charts. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's first off, let's drop a table onto the page here. And by table, it's actually generating a series of widgets that will work together. In this case, I also want to make it so that I can update some of the fields. Not all of them, but maybe a few of them, like the priority, due date, and such. And we'll leave it at that. I'll click next. And I'll take all the default options for pagination or column-based sorting and click finish. And there we go. Now we have our table. That's the design time view of the table. We have this section here. That's a repeating row. And then, of course, the various widgets that will either allow us to view the data or even edit the data right in line within the row. All right. So that's pretty good so far. Let's go over to the other page that I have. This is the create page. And for this one, I want to just drop a form into that one. And to make it simple, I will have like a insert form. So I don't need to edit, but I just want to do a one-time insert or like a unidirectional insert. And I'll accept all the fields except for done. Because obviously it doesn't make sense to insert a new task which is already done. So I'll click finish. And there we go. So now we have our insert form. It's essentially ready to go. I will do one other thing, which is pretty cool. I'm going to actually create a new owner field that's based off of the data that I'm getting, or it's validated, I should say, from directory API. So in this case, we have a special widget. So if I pull up all of our picker widgets, you know, as you can see, we have a dry picker. I'm going to actually, for this one, I'm going to use the user picker. And I'm going to drag that over here and just plop that right down into the form. And notice it's prompting me. It says, oh, you need to, for this user picker to work, you need to actually have the a directory model. And so a directory model just uses a direct connection to your local directory server. So I'm going to create this on the fly. And just to show you what happened, I actually now have this directory model that got created for me, and it has all these fields that I can look up and pull up, like photo URLs and email address, full name, et cetera, et cetera. So just to kind of explain it. Now, in order for this to work, I actually have to data bind it to that new directory model. So let's go over to the value of the picker. So it's right there. That's the property of the user picker. And then I just set it to owner. And that's it. At the same time, I can throw away my old one. So I just click on it and hit delete, and it's gone. And then I'm going to customize the label. Notice there's labels on these other fields. So to do that, I could go back over here and add a label, or I could just do a double click and just type in a label on the fly. And so there we go. Now we have like an owner label. We have the actual user picker, which is data bound to the field owner, which is fetching the data. So pretty straightforward. So one final step that I'm going to do for my form is that I want it to close the dialog once I've submitted, once I've created a record. And so in that case, let me just go to the on-click field here, and then I'll open that up, and I'm going to actually put a bit of code where we'll add some custom action. And in this case, I'm putting on the I'm adding a little bit of code here, app.close dialog. And so this is essentially part of our AppMaker client-side API that allows us to do any kind of UI manipulation. And that's basically it. And that's after it's calling create item or create record. All right, so now we should be good to go. I'll click back over here, and I will click preview. And so if you're new to AppMaker, basically preview takes your application design, compiles it into a runtime app script and sends it to the app script server, the runtime server. And now what we're looking at is the preview window, if you haven't seen that before. So you have the ability to add logging information on the bottom, and then there's even a page chooser on the top that you could use. But for this one, there's my blank app. So let's go ahead and invoke. We pop open the dialog, and then I can put in some information. So like maybe I want to toss in like a few characters, and then, oh, there's Devin. So one of our engineers, I can add him. I can give him a project here. Let's see. Let's put in like some text here. Typing too fast. And then I can put a priority. And notice also the insert form generated a drop-down list for me automatically. So I didn't even have to do that because I had that possible value set. And then I can just tab through and grab whatever value I want. And I'll throw in budget and then click submit. And then boom, we have another value there. And so in this case, let's add another user onto the project tracking database. Let's see. I'll just say finish product plan. I'll give it a priority 1 and put a due date, and then I'll give like another budget just to have a numerical value. All right, the pretty straightforward stuff here, kind of like what you would expect for an application of this type. And so notice that I can even go in and revise some of the info, or if I wanted to, I could just click on the delete button. So that's pretty good for starters. Let me go back and customize the app a little bit more. So in this case, I did mention that I wanted to put a chart in there. So how would I do that? Well, it's actually pretty easy. I can just go to my palette, select the bar chart, and drag it right there on the top of my table, and kind of sandwiches it in nicely. And then for this one, we have a little chart walkthrough, kind of a wizard, where I can specify for the label of the chart to be the project name. And then there's a numeric value that I've added, which is the budget. So then I'll click Finish. And there we go. So now we have our chart right at the top of our table. No worries about the eggs, chickens. That's just kind of something to show for the chart. It'll actually show the actual data here. So actually, Devin, the engineer, did that just kind of for fun. Also, you notice one thing. I'll do another customization. You notice the chart is literally right on top of our table beneath it. And you can even tell this by clicking on this handy tool, like the Show Outlines tool. So I click on Show Outlines, and you'll see that all the widgets, all their boundaries are now shown. And this is especially helpful if you kind of want to know, like, if any widget is on top of another. So I just toggle that, I turn it on, and I see there's literally no boundary between the chart and the table. So I'm going to click on the table, and I'll scroll down here to a section called spacing. So this is relatively new, in case you haven't seen this feature. And then I can type in, say, for the margin on the bottom, like 30 pixels, and there you go. So everything just shifted down a little bit. So there we go. So now we have a table that got shifted down a bit. I can even turn off the outlines view. And also, in case you're curious with this icon on the right of that, if I happen to have some hidden widgets or widgets that the visibility is turned off, I could turn that on, and then I would actually see some of the stuff that's not shown. In this case, the starter menu is being shown in there. So just kind of some helpful tips on how to kind of understand like the different features in AppMaker. All right, so now I can click preview and I could show the chart, but I'm also going to add one more feature to this application. I want to make it such that whenever a new project is assigned, it will actually get assigned to, it will send an email. Right? So in this case, I could go through and add a little bit of scripts here. So if I clicked plus and say, oh, in this case, I want to write some code that runs on the server, it will execute the app script mailapp.sendmail call. But I don't even need to do that. I could actually add that code directly into the model. And the way I would do that is I go into my projects model, click on the events tab, and then on the onCreate event, I can just type in my app script code directly. So in this case, it's like an app. I could do mail app dot send mail, and notice as I'm flipping through the code completion, there's quite a bit of useful information in the code completion. So I have essentially the entire documentation for the app script services right there on the fly. So in this case, I'm going to do the send mail call, which is going to allow me to send an email. And so the first argument is the to. So who is the email going to be sent to? And that's pretty easy. I just select the owner. And then for the second one is the subject. So I can say, I think project assignment alert, like that. And then for the third argument, I'm going to have like a note that says, attention, you have been assigned the project. And I'll keep it fairly simple, but I'm going to add a, you probably guess, so the record dot project name. So it's actually fetching the values of the record that's being inserted at the time. And then I'll say another is due on, and then record dot, what you can tell me, right? Record dot due date. And that is it. So that's a little bit of code there that I just did on the fly. It's going to run on the server. And now we should be good to go. One thing I should do, and I forgot to do this before, is I should clear out my my inbox, just so you can see that it's sending like a new email. And so this is like my test account. So my current inbox is now cleaned up. And I can go back to the application here in the editor, and I'll click preview. And I'll go ahead and add one more project, and I'll assign it to myself. And we'll just see if that bit of code executes. So here's my application. Also, here's my new chart that I added. Notice as I hover over, you can see the values there. And if I wanted to, say, bump up the security planning budget by a bit, I can just do that on the fly, and then bada bing, there we go. So now we have more budget for that particular project. Let's go ahead and add a new project. This one I'm going to make it for myself, so that way I'll receive an email. And I'll just say finish demo. And let's give myself priority 1. I'll say, I don't know, maybe whenever. And let's give myself a nice hefty budget, of course. And I'll click submit, and that will go off. And now let's go back to my email. And I notice a new message just popped up. Project assignment alert. And then there's the message, attention, you've been assigned the project finished demo, which is due on Friday, May 12th. So notice I didn't really do any formatting. Like the actual app script send mail function does allow me to do a lot of customizations, whether I'm sending HTML, and I also can format the date so that's exactly the date format that I want. But hopefully you get the idea. I just did kind of the quick and simple method. So that's pretty much it for the demo. We showed this, or I showed this on stage at the breakout session that we had in our Google Next conference in London. Yeah, definitely probably be updating this and creating new demos along the way. There's various other opportunities that we'll be doing that. So without further ado, I think we can probably switch back to our presentation. And if there's any questions on the YouTube live stream, I could probably have a quick look as well. I don't know, do you guys notice any questions for this one?
Yep, I guess this is related to the applications to be available outside.
Yeah, that was the thing that came up. We were talking about that.
But the next question is related. Is there any estimated time, I guess?
Oh, no, sorry. No, we don't. It's a little too early to make any kind of predictions on that. But I would say, just in general, I mean, feel free to let us know through the forum if publishing on the web is definitely an important use case for you. And I think we got that from the YouTube live stream. And there's various reasons why it is the way it is. As you know, we've gone through a lot of testing. We finished our trusted tester. We're now in early adopter phase, and then we want to continuously take the product gradually to market in a step-by-step manner. So anyway, so that's kind of where we're at with that. Cool. Any other questions coming up on the YouTube live stream? So if not, we can also wrap it up if we don't see anything
Also,
new.
one person asks to post a link to the AppMaker user group,
Oh, okay.
and that's all.
Okay, good. Yeah, actually, can you respond on that?
Just with a link, right?
Yeah, and we need to probably, yeah, this is probably an action item for us to publicize a short link to our AppMaker users group. And one thing that we also notice, oh, also just so you know, when you do have AppMaker running, I'll just even do a demo of that. So if you guys can see my screen, notice right here, there's a forum link. So when you click on the forum link, it will actually take you to the AppMaker users forum, and this is the public users group there. So yeah, definitely by all means, let us know. You know, oops, sorry, I think I was, there we go. There's also, just so you know, a few other things that I could probably point out. The questions, so we actually do have a link to a Stack Overflow page. So this is like a demo of how to get support, I guess, as well. So we do have Stack Overflow support. We have the tag for AppMaker, and it's accessible from AppMaker, as you can see. So let me pull up the menu again. So questions goes to Stack Overflow, and the forum goes to our AppMaker users group, and then report a problem. I'll just pop that open so you can see what it is. So this goes into our issue tracker, and it goes right inside, so our engineers will see it right there on the fly. I won't do this right now, but if you see a potential bug, you can always put that in there, and it will get sent directly to our engineering team. And then finally, since we're walking through this feedback, this is like a nice tool where you can actually, take a screenshot and just mention anything that looks off to you, or even if you have some ideas about maybe improving a particular feature, you can definitely use this tool, and it will get sent right into our product team directly. So hopefully that's helpful. And I think that's about it, unless there's anything else we want to play around with in the environment, that in case you have any questions. And of course, we still have to deal with a bit of a delay, but I'll look over on the screen here.
I can publish a link for some reason.
Oh, okay. So Alex here, he was going to try to put the link out into the YouTube live stream, but it looks like there's a security precaution against doing that. So anyway, no worries. We can, let's see, what's the best way to do it? I could spell it out. But
Chris, I think we can, once the live stream goes out, I think we can actually post that.
okay, yeah, that sounds good. That'll work. Cool. Any other questions on the live stream, or we can probably wrap it up. Again, yeah, feel free to let us know if there's any product issues that you see. By all means, you can reach out and contact us. And yeah, that's I think that's probably about it for now. Just to give you an idea of what stuff that's currently underway from a product standpoint. So as you know, we're building out more turnkey solutions, more template apps, such as the corporate store that Andre walked through earlier. There's also like a set of smaller samples. So just like, what were some of the ones that we've already have the running versions
like
of?
calendar sample, email
Oh,
sample,
yeah.
translation API, ads.
Yep, exactly. Calendar, some basic stuff. How to use Calendar.
Drive picker sample.
Drive picker sample, exactly. So these are like smaller scoped stuff that the idea is that instead of showing you like a full-blown turnkey solution, you can just pop it open and get a very simple example of how to do some basic things there. So yeah, cool. I think that's about it, unless there's anything else that we see on the Q&A on the live stream. But cool. James, anything on your end? Any final words?
No, excited to meet some new students, get everybody working on AppMaker. It's such a great platform that it's exciting to see all the awesome things people are building and how fast they can get this up and running. So
okay, cool.
Can't wait to work with more.
We do have, before we wrap up, we did have 2 more questions coming in. There's one about beta access to the templates, and then how long until show up. So in the past, we would sometimes put out like a early copy of the some example apps. I wouldn't call them like a early copy of the templates, but we probably, at least for now, we're holding off because we probably want to make sure that we get things a little bit tightened up and passes our review for fear of actually kind of putting out something that might be a little bit confusing. So, so yeah, but rest assured, they're well on their way into our development and will be checked in. And I don't know, Andre, do you want to give your take on when you expect them to be live?
I hope it will be live in a month or a month and a half.
Okay.
I guess.
And is there anything that you need from me? Because like,
You know.
okay, yeah. So we have like our review process, which involves kind of a couple of different people in the team, and I'm sometimes guilty of coming back a little bit later on some of the reviews. But yeah, anyway, they're definitely working to try to get them into the product as soon as possible. So yeah, within a month or a month and a half at the latest, I would think. And then I think that was more or less the gist of both of the remaining questions. Also, stay tuned. We have, just other features in the pipeline, but yeah, a lot of like little bits and pieces. Like you may have noticed, like the editor has improved slightly. There's like it shows you what line you're on, and then also the ability to quickly comment out blocks of code, things like that. So these are things that are up and coming, and yeah, stay tuned. Definitely some final things before we head into GA. Cool. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again for everyone's attention and attendance, I guess. Definitely enjoyed having you. And sorry if there were any little microphone issues. They're always a bit of a challenge when we're putting these things together. So, and thanks again for James for joining us. We're always happy to see the stuff he's doing with AppMaker University, as well as his company, Ignites Energy, that they're quite busy these days with a lot of AppMaker projects. So happy to hear all that stuff. So,
Great,
cool.
Thanks, Chris.
Great. All right, I guess we can go ahead and sign off. So again, thanks to Andre and Alex for helping us kind of man the chats as they've been coming in. Cool. Oh, and thank you, Luis, as well. Nice to hear from you. So I'll go ahead.